YouTube, it's Rob. So I take it you're not impressed with my video where I show you the Mid-Atlantic Ridge lining up with the Himalaya Mountains, which has never been shown before. But you could see that they perfectly line up, and that right there pretty much destroys plate tectonics theory of what the Mid-Atlantic Ridge is. So if that didn't impress you, well then, I don't know, maybe this video might. I want to show you something here. This is the Eurasia plate right here, and this is the Pacific plate right here. And they claim that this is a subduction zone right here, which means the Pacific plate here is going underneath this Eurasia plate. Okay, well, there's a tiny problem with that, and it's called recurring patterns. Now, before I get onto that, I want to show you, let's look at this a different way. Okay, they claim these are two plates, one's going underneath one, but to me that doesn't look right, because you don't see the plate. Looks like the plate is going level here. It doesn't look like it's going in any angle downwards or anything, and this doesn't look like it's going up. But what this does look like is, my theory claims that the planet is made in layers, and these layers get pulled apart as the planet increases, exposing reoccurring patterns that used to lie underneath one another. And if you just look at this, you can see that this right here definitely looks like it's laying on top of this scar right here. It looks like it goes underneath it. And then you look at this looks like another layer on top of this one. So maybe what you're looking at right here is not a subduction zone or a fault. What you might be looking at is the Earth's original outer layer right here that's been split open. Okay, like it split open and pulled open and back like drapes. You'll notice this shape right here. You know, like it split open and just, you know, pulled back. And so if that is true, well then these scars would have to lie, or this area would have to lie over these scars, and they would have to line up. Now if that's the case, does that prove, wouldn't that prove me right and plate tectonics wrong? Because you can't have a scar that lines up with something over here if this plate is moving that way to be destroyed underneath this one. You can't have the fact that these areas are connected if they're still coming to each other, because at one point they must have left each other. Okay. I hate to say it, but it's actually pretty easy to prove that plate tectonics is not accurate. And you know, because I grew up, I loved plate tectonics, and I loved earthquakes and tsunamis when I was growing up. So it's not like I have some kind of vendetta against plate tectonics. It's just that we're all believing a theory that's not correct, and because of that, we're looking at the planet completely wrong. And anyways, I want to show you this. That's not an attack on geologists or seismologists. What it's attack on is you know, false theories that keep living. Anyways, here's that supposed subduction zone, and here is Hawaii, the Hawaiian island chain, and then this scar next to it. Now these scars should have been the first thing back when plate tectonics was, you know, so, you know, kind of discovered or whatever, made up or whatever. These scars should have been what attracted their attention right out the gate. These scars look as if something huge happened. They look like it looks like an impact, but the problem is this impact looks like it's rotating, and you could tell because of the angle of this these lines here. It looks like these lines were like, like thrown. Anyhow, this scar is right here with the Hawaiian Island chain. So, and this plate is moving this way. So there's no reason why this should line up here. And it does, because look, if you look at this shape right here, you see this looks like a puzzle piece. Well, you'll notice that there's kind of a similar notch right here, and they do sit on each other. And you can see that this, what looks like an impact, is, which it's most likely this is electrical. You can see that this lines up here also, and you can also see that, okay, here's crap. This didn't come out as good as it should have. Hold on, let me see if I can use the other one. That one, this one. I think you can see more accurately what this looks like. It looks like, this looks like a horse. It looks like a horse's head, rear legs, tail, and then his front leg. And his front leg, well, it fits in this gouge right here. You see that? It fits. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's not even a coincidence. It would be stupid to even try to say it was a coincidence. That's how obvious this is. But it gets better, because I have more. I have a lot more, and it has to do with this scar. By the time this video is done, you're going to see that there is absolutely no chance that plate tectonics can continue on, because it's anything but factual. This is how I got started on this whole thing a year ago. I was on Google Earth, and I just happened to notice that the angle of the Hawaiian Island chain for some reason it looked similar to our coastline, but it also looked similar to these these features right here. And so I simply made an overlay, and I slid it over, and I noticed, wow, that kind of lines up right there. You see this? Okay. And then I noticed that here's the Hawaiian Island chain. And then I noticed, you know what, there's these lines right here. Well, maybe those lines mean something, because they look like they're going from our coastline all the way to Hawaii. So anyways, so I took it a step further, and I took the Hawaiian Island chain here and started lining things up, and started realizing, holy crap, this sat here at one time. It had to have. It looks too much like it, And then I realized, holy crap, I can move this in here and see that it lines up. Okay. Then I realized, it took me about, I don't know, about not even 2 minutes, about like 30 seconds to realize that, wow, this crossed the San Andreas fault line. And then I knew right then, plate tectonics is done. I knew it was done. But that's because I have a little bit of understanding of how plate tectonics works. So I knew that uh-oh, there's something wrong here. And then I've been working on this for a whole year, and now I've got mountains of evidence that proves that it's wrong. I've got so much evidence that I'm 100% confident that I could prove to any geologist that plate tectonics is wrong. And any geologist with an open mind, okay, mind you that all geologists that see this, they're going to be like what you call normalcy biased. You're going to be biased about this. You're going to think there's no way this could be right. Oh, hell no. Because your identity is wrapped up into plate tectonics. So all I can tell you is that the sooner you get past that, the better off you are. You're always better off with the truth. There's nothing good. Nothing good comes from chasing a lie. You go nowhere. You solve nothing. All you do is create more problems, like our science, like NASA does with black holes and dark energy. You know, they create something and then, you know, they keep making more stuff up, and but they never solve anything. They they don't solve nothing. They just create more mystery, you know, for everybody, which is not science. Anyhow, so anyways, the sooner that you can get past this, the better, because if you look, you can see that wow, that does line up. But here's the thing: there's reoccurring patterns. We've been living on top of reoccurring patterns right here in North America. You see this area right here with this mark right there, and then it swoops over here again like a W. Well, if you look at the coastline here, you got the same thing because these are recurring patterns of each other right there in the United States, North America. And on top of that, if you look at here, here's Alaska, and then you notice these mountain ranges right here. You can see their shape right there. Well, its recurring pattern happens to be right down here. And you could see that. I don't even have to do an overlay, but you can see the shapes are very similar. And they're they're almost identical when you overlay them. And it's obviously one of these sat on top of the other. But what's cool about this is that they'll be just slightly different from one another to the point to where you can actually see what caused something to break off. You can actually solve, every time you do an overlay, you can actually solve the mysteries of the geology because you can actually see what took place to make something a certain way because you can see the difference in the two images. And for a year now, I've seen things that nobody's seen. And on this planet, I've seen it. It's amazing. I basically have seen this planet created right in front of my eyes with this theory. Plate tectonics doesn't do that. It doesn't do that for nobody. It never will. It never has. And you might as well scrap it because as long as you hold on to it, it's like you're holding onto a rock and you're trying to tread water. You're gonna go nowhere except for struggle. I mean, put it this way: plate tectonics can't solve. They don't know. They can't predict earthquakes. They can't do none of that. But yet, there's people on YouTube that do pretty damn well predicting earthquakes because they base it off of electromagnetism and not fault pressures or whatever, you know, this or that. They can predict earthquakes by when the sun throws a flare at the earth or a coronal mass ejection. And seismology doesn't do that. And it's strange because it doesn't make sense that they don't do that. They should have found that a long time ago. And they should have found this immediately. What I'm showing you should have been found before I was even born. So it's kind of odd that nobody's noticed this before. And that's, you know, something to look into. Anyways, let me show you the alignments here. Here's this arch. Every time you see an arch like this, it's going to be related to this. But it's also going to be related to something else that I haven't shown you yet. Just there's a lot. You guys are not going to believe what all I can show you. What geologic mysteries I can solve. You can pretty much solve them all with this theory because you can actually see them happening. So this is actually a pretty big thing. This is an important part of understanding of who we are. You know, we got to understand our planet. And I'm pretty confident that the core of this planet is not an iron ball or a molten iron ball with it giving off a magnetic field, which I don't know if you've ever melted magnets before, but they don't give off magnetic fields after they've been melted down, yeah, or even hot. But plasma, I already heard this from the electric universe theory guys. They know what they're talking about, so you'll hear a lot of stuff that they said that I'll say, so I don't mean to like steal any of their stuff, but their theory is what got me onto what I'm showing you. If it wasn't for them, I would have never saw this because I would have been biased, normalcy biased, just like our geologists are. So thanks to the electric universe theory for opening my eyes. Hopefully I can open theirs because this is a big part for them if they take a look at this. If I rotate this, you'll see that that fits into there. Um, like I said, rotation is a huge part of this. You can see that this fits here. Okay, these are reoccurring patterns. You've seen it fit here, and I can guarantee you it's going to fit up here in Alaska too. And I've seen it so much that I don't even have to question it. I can predict certain things are just going to fit, and they're going to fit. They always do. When's the last time plate tectonics could predict anything? I'm just saying, you know, it just needs to go. It's holding us back. Our science, current science, is what's holding us back from understanding the world around us. So it needs to change, or the people running it need to change, because I think they may know more about this than they let on. Because you know what, this theory also predicts, just like I can show you these realignments, I could also show you realignments with minerals, gold, silver. Areas that produce these will have sat on top of one another, and there's going to be a reason why those minerals are there. So this is a huge key to unlocking rather important mysteries about this planet. Oh yeah, and then I'm going to show you South America, because this doesn't just stop at North America. This continues on and on and on, all the way to the source that created this planet.